Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association. Missouri produces wood pallets, railroad ties, white oak barrels, hardwood floors, and more. Details on the variety of products made in the state are at choosewood.com.
It's Monday, January 22nd. This is The Gateway. I'm Wayne Pratt. Many people have a vision for the city of the future, including teams of junior high school students from around Missouri.
So we can use those energy sources and make an interconnected power grid and connect everything together into one electricity source.
Coming up, our Jonathan Ahl reports on a weekend competition in Rolla for the Future City Contest. Many local school districts are canceling classes today or shifting to remote learning because of icy roads. Several businesses and government offices are closed, including the Missouri Legislature, which has canceled today's sessions. Freezing temperatures and rain are creating a dangerous commute. St. Louis Public Radio's Kate Grumke reports officials are advising people to stay home if possible.
Maintenance crews worked overnight to try to keep roads clear, but officials still expect issues. That's why they say if you're able to work from home this morning or delay travel, you should. If that's not possible, Dallas Thompson with the Missouri State Highway Patrol says to think ahead.
Leave plenty early, give yourself plenty of time to get to where you're going, drive slow enough for the road conditions that you're on, and watch for those changing road conditions.
Thompson also says to make sure you have supplies in your car and a fully charged phone, because officials expect slower emergency response times. I'm Kate Grumke, St. Louis Public Radio.
The winter storms over the past week brought plenty of precipitation, but most of that in the St. Louis area was rain before the temperatures dropped. Illinois state climatologist Trent Ford says that's good news for drought conditions.
The rain at the front of the storm made a huge impact. It really did. It got us on the right track. That rain didn't just run off. A good chunk of it soaked in.
Ford says recent St. Louis area soil moistures have been some of the driest on record. He says there is a good chance of wetter than normal conditions for the rest of the month. The St. Louis and St. Louis County NAACP are launching the Right to Read campaign to get all black children reading at grade level by 2030. Officials say they want to close the gap between student performance and state academic standards. St. Louis Public Radio's Andrea Henderson reports.
According to the nation's report card, only 1 in 10 black children in Missouri read proficiently by the 3rd grade. Ian Buchanan is the city chapter's education chair. He says many black kids are suffering because they can't read.
Unless you can ensure that kids feel safe, feel a sense of belonging, feel challenged, and have those quality relationships in those classrooms, we won't move the needle.
Over the next few months, the city and county NAACP officials will be working with school district leaders and parent and community organizations to help move the reading campaign forward. After finalizing reading improvement research, the NAACP will make specific requests to stakeholders. I'm Andrea Henderson, St. Louis Public Radio.
The Illinois Supreme Court has upheld the consolidation of nearly 650 police and fire pension funds. Beneficiaries from more than a dozen communities filed a suit against a 2019 law they say diminishes local pension boards' voting power and ability to manage assets. Governor J.B. Pritzker calls the ruling a victory for taxpayers, local governments, and first responders. Washington University has a new $615 million neuroscience research facility. As St. Louis Public Radio's Jeremy Goodwin reports, the 11-floor Central West End building includes more lab space for scientists tackling a wide range of brain disorders.
Neuroscience is already a specialty area for Washington University Medical School. It receives more funding for neurology research from the National Institutes of Health than any other school. The new building has nearly 150 labs and brings together researchers previously scattered across 7 buildings. Medical School Dean David Perlmutter says the facility will eventually lead to breakthroughs in treatment for Alzheimer's disease and other neurological conditions.
We're working on autism and depression and new therapies for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. That's Lou Gehrig's disease.
Perlmutter says one priority is to partner with nearby Cortex to develop commercial applications for the school's neurology research. I'm Jeremy Goodwin, St. Louis Public Radio.
Engineers all over the world are working on how to build a sustainable city of the future that solves problems while meeting the needs of a modern society. Junior high school students from around Missouri over the weekend presented their models and ideas to a panel of judges in Rolla. St. Louis Public Radio's Jonathan Ahl reports.
12-year-old Sebastian Turley says the city of the future will need a diversity of power sources. The seventh grader from St. Clair Junior High and his teammates envision using hydroelectric power and geothermal energy to power Die Grüne Stadt, German for the Green City.
We have the Isar River flowing near our city, and we also have geothermal hotspots right underneath our city, so we can use those energy sources and make an interconnected power grid and connect everything together into one electricity source.
This model city and the essay and presentation that goes along with it are part of the Future City competition. It's an annual nationwide event that challenges 6th through 8th graders to design the city of the future. This year's challenge was to design a 100% electrically powered city with energy generated from sources that keep their citizens and the environment healthy and safe. The team from Sullivan Middle School opted for solar power in their city, Aquila. 7th grader Savannah Embry says they envisioned a collection of mirrors that would all focus the sun's rays at the top of a structure they call the Solar Power Tower.
Once the sun hits the mirrors and goes up and heats up the solar power tower, the steam goes to the base, which spins a turbine connecting to a generator, which flows throughout the city.
These students from around the state are putting the final touches on their 3D models that are about 5 feet wide and 3 feet deep, and they're practicing their presentations and preparing to answer questions from judges from Missouri University of Science and Technology and Ameren. Joel Birkin is the chair of the Civil, Architectural, and Environmental Engineering Department at Missouri S&T and one of the judges.
I think it's really key for them to look at how they're learning now for math and science and chemistry and biology and some properties and physics can all be integrated into something that is real and that really is implemented on a citywide scale or a country scale.
More than the science, the project also teaches students about teamwork. 13-year-old Isa Zurovec is on a team of homeschooled kids in Rolla. She says that's the biggest thing she's taking out of the experience.
It definitely teaches you how to work with people, because no matter what you're doing, you're always working with people. So I think that's what helped me. It's helping me communicate and be able to make sure everybody's on the same page about everything.
Each state has a competition like this one, with the winning team advancing onto a national contest next month in Washington, D.C. Missouri will be represented by the team from St. Clair Junior High.
And if I can bring down our first place Missouri Future City competition winners, Die Grüne Stadt.
The team is already thinking about upgrades and improvements they will make to their city before heading to nationals. But 7th grader Carson Flora is still taking time to let it all soak in.
I am amazed that we even got this opportunity to just go in and do stuff, and we won. It's so exciting. I can't put it into words. I can't believe we're going to D.C.
While the focus may be on the next month, the Future City competition is in for a possible expansion next year. Missouri is one of 10 states that will pilot a version of the contest for high school students. In Rolla, I'm Jonathan Ahl, St. Louis Public Radio.
Our Brian Moline edited that report. The Gateway is a production of St. Louis Public Radio, a listener-supported service of the University of Missouri St. Louis. Music by Ryan McNeely of Adult Fur. I'm Wayne Pratt.
Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, committed to conservation and careful management of the state's forests to make them more resilient and better habitats for wildlife. ChooseWood.com.